were not born to beg, you were born to reign. And if you don't start talking to yourself differently, you will never experience what your life was truly meant to be. For the next 3 days, I want you to do something radical. I want you to change the conversation you've been having with yourself. Not just for motivation, not just to feel good, but because the words you speak to yourself determine the world you walk into. Your inner dialogue creates your outer reality. And most of you have been speaking defeat into your destiny for so long that you've convinced yourself that this is all there is. But it's not. Listen to me very carefully. The most important conversation you will ever have is not with your boss, not with your spouse, not with your parents, not with your friends. The most important conversation you will ever have is the one you have with yourself when nobody else is listening. That conversation is either building you or burying you. It's either raising you up or tearing you down. And the tragedy is that most people don't even know they're doing it. You wake up in the morning, and what's the first thing you say? I'm so tired. I don't want to go. I can't do this anymore. Nothing ever works for me. You're prophesying your own failure. You're declaring poverty over your future. You're sentencing yourself to a life of limitation before you even get out of bed. Do you understand what you're doing? You're agreeing with every voice that ever told you that you weren't enough. You're partnering with every disappointment that ever broke you. You're validating every fear that ever paralyzed you. And then you wonder why your life feels heavy. You wonder why nothing changes. You wonder why you can't break through. Let me tell you something. The universe responds to frequency. The Creator responds to declaration. Life responds to expectation. And if you expect nothing, that's exactly what you're going to get. So for 3 days, I want you to be ruthless with your words. I want you to talk to yourself the way someone who was destined for greatness talks to themselves. I want you to speak to yourself the way a king speaks, the way a champion speaks, the way someone who was created on purpose and for a purpose speaks, not because you feel like it, but because it's the truth. You see, feelings are real, but they're not always true. You might feel weak, but the truth is you've survived every single thing that tried to destroy you. You might feel like a failure, but the truth is you're still here, still trying, still breathing, still believing even when belief is hard. That's not failure. That's courage. That's strength. That's the mark of someone who was built to overcome. So when you wake up tomorrow, before you check your phone, before you scroll through everyone else's highlight reel, before you start comparing your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 20, I want you to say this out loud. I am not a victim of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions. And today, I decide to rise. Say it again. I am not a victim of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions. And today, I decide to rise. Do you feel that? That shift? That's the sound of your destiny waking up. That's the sound of purpose stirring. That's the sound of the real you remembering who you are. Because here's what happened. Somewhere along the way, life convinced you that you were ordinary. Disappointment told you that you were average. Failure whispered that you were a mistake. Rejection screamed that you didn't matter, and you believed it. You took off your crown and started living like a beggar when you were born to be royalty. But let me remind you of something. A lion does not lose sleep over the opinion of sheep. And you need to stop letting people who don't even know their own value tell you yours. You are not random. You are not a cosmic accident. You are not a mistake that needs to be fixed. You are a masterpiece that needs to be revealed. There is a manufacturer behind your existence. And when a manufacturer creates something, they don't create it without a purpose. A chair is made to be sat on. A light is made to shine. A seed is made to grow into a tree. And you were made to dominate, not in arrogance, but in purpose. You were made to take territory, not for ego, but for impact. You were made to leave this world different than you found it. But you can't do that if you keep talking to yourself like you're worthless. So here's what I want you to do. On day 1, I want you to cancel every negative agreement you've made with yourself. Every time you said, I can't, cancel it. Every time you said, I'm not smart enough, cancel it. Every time you said, I'm too old, too young, too broken, too damaged, cancel it. Because those are lies. And lies don't become true just because you repeat them. But here's the dangerous part. If you repeat a lie long enough, you start to live it. You've been living beneath your design. You've been operating below your capacity. You've been surviving when you were built to thrive. And the only reason is because you've been speaking the wrong language over your life. Change your language and you'll change your life. On day 2, I want you to start speaking what you want to see instead of what you currently see. This is not denial. This is faith. Faith is not ignoring reality. Faith is calling those things that are not as though they already are. It's speaking to the invisible until it becomes visible. When you look at your bank account and it's empty, don't just say I'm broke. Say I am a steward of wealth and resources are coming to me. When you look at your business and it's struggling, don't just say I'm failing. Say I am learning, I am growing, and my breakthrough is near. When you look at your relationships and they're broken, don't just say I'm alone. Say I attract the right people at the right time, and I am surrounded by love and support. Some of you think this is crazy. You think I'm telling you to lie to yourself. But let me ask you something. What have you been doing? You've been speaking poverty. You've been speaking defeat. You've been speaking limitation. And where has that gotten you? You've tried it your way. Now try it the way you were designed. You see, a seed doesn't look at the dirt and say, I'm buried. A seed says, I'm planted. It doesn't see darkness. It sees preparation. It doesn't feel trapped. It feels positioned. And because of the way it sees itself, it pushes through the soil and becomes a tree that feeds nations. That's you. You're not buried. You're planted. This is not your ending. This is your beginning. But you have to talk to yourself like someone who's about to break through, not someone who's about to break down. I've watched people with everything lose it all because of the way they spoke to themselves. And I've watched people with nothing build empires because of the way they spoke to themselves. Your words are that powerful. There was a man who lost his job, his home, his family, and his health all in the same year. Everyone around him said, give up. It's over. You're finished. But every morning, he would stand in front of the mirror and say, I am still here. I am still breathing. I am still capable. This is not my end. This is my comeback. And he said it even when he didn't feel it. He said it even when the evidence screamed otherwise. He said it because he understood that his words were the seeds of his future. 5 years later, that man owned 3 businesses, restored his family, rebuilt his health, and became a mentor to thousands. Not because life got easier, but because he refused to let his circumstances control his conversation. That's the power of talking to yourself correctly. On day 3, I want you to start declaring your purpose. Not your job, your purpose. Your job is what you do. Your purpose is why you exist. And until you know why you're here, you'll keep wandering through life trying to find satisfaction in things that were never meant to fulfill you. You are not here just to pay bills and die. You are not here just to consume and exist. You are not here just to survive. You are here to solve a problem. You are here to fill a gap. You are here to be an answer to someone's prayer. But you'll never walk in that if you keep talking to yourself like you're insignificant. Say this: I carry something the world needs. My voice matters. My presence makes a difference. I was sent here with an assignment, and I will not leave until it's complete. Do you know what happens when you start talking to yourself like this? You start moving differently. You start thinking differently. You start attracting differently. You start living differently because you've aligned your words with your design. And here's what most people don't understand. You don't need permission to be great. You don't need validation to walk in purpose. You don't need applause to start your assignment. You just need to stop waiting for someone else to tell you that you matter and start telling yourself the world is waiting for you. Not the perfect version of you, not the healed version of you, not the version of you that has it all together. The world is waiting for the real you. The you that has scars and still shows up. The you that has failed and still tries again. The you that has been broken and still believes. That's the you the world needs. But you have to believe it first. And belief starts with the words you speak to yourself when no one else is around. I know what some of you are thinking, but you don't know my story. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know how many times I've tried and failed. You don't know how deep my pain is. You're right. I don't know your specific story. But I know this. Pain is not proof that you're disqualified. Pain is proof that you're human. And every single person who ever did anything significant had to go through something difficult first. The difference between the people who make it and the people who don't is not the absence of struggle. It's the presence of the right conversation during the struggle. One person goes through hardship and says, why is this happening to me? I must be cursed. I must be unlucky. I must be a failure. And they collapse under the weight of that narrative. Another person goes through the same hardship and says, what is this teaching me? What is this building in me? What is this preparing me for? And they rise stronger because they refuse to give defeat a voice. Same situation, different conversation, different outcome. You have more control than you think you do. You can't control what happens to you, but you can control what you say about what happens to you. And that makes all the difference. Let me tell you something else. Your current situation is not your final destination. Where you are is not where you're going. What you have is not all there is. You are in transition. You are in process. You are being prepared for something greater. But if you keep speaking like this is the end, you'll never see the beginning that's waiting for you. For 3 days, I want you to stop rehearsing what went wrong and start declaring what's going to go right. Stop replaying your failures and start proclaiming your future. Stop meditating on your mistakes and start focusing on your potential. This is not positive thinking. This is strategic speaking. This is intentional declaration. This is you taking authority over your own narrative instead of letting life write the story for you. You are not powerless. You are powerful. But your power is dormant until you activate it with your words. When you say, I can, you shut the door. When you say, I can, you open it. When you say, it's impossible, you build a wall. When you say, it's possible, you build a bridge. When you say, I'm done, you dig a grave. When you say, I'm just getting started, you plant a garden. Your words are either weapons or tools. They either destroy or they build. And you get to choose. So choose life, choose hope, choose faith, choose purpose, choose greatness. Not because it's easy, but because it's true. You were not made for mediocrity. You were not made to blend in. You were not made to live small, think small, dream small, and settle for less than what your Creator put inside of you. There is something in you that the world has not seen yet. There is a gift in you that has not been unwrapped yet. There is a solution in you that has not been released yet. And the reason it hasn't come out is because you haven't called it out. You've been calling out your fears. You've been calling out your doubts. You've been calling out your limitations. And guess what showed up? Exactly what you called. But what if for 3 days you started calling out your greatness? What if you started calling out your strength? What if you started calling out your victory? What do you think would show up then? Let me tell you a truth that might make you uncomfortable. You are exactly where your words have taken you. If you don't like where you are, change what you say. If you want a different result, speak a different language. This is not magic. This is principle. This is how life works. This is how creation responds. This is how the invisible becomes visible. You speak it before you see it. You declare it before you hold it. You call it before it comes. And I know it feels strange at first. I know it feels like you're lying. I know it feels like you're pretending. But you're not. You're prophesying. You're legislating. You're decreeing. you are activating the law of fate that has governed creation since the beginning of time. Every single thing you see started as a word. Every building, every invention, every movement, every revolution, somebody spoke it before it existed. And the same power that created everything you see is the same power that lives in your words. So stop using your words carelessly. Stop throwing them around like they don't matter. Stop speaking death and expecting life. Stop speaking lack and expecting abundance. Stop speaking defeat and expecting victory. It doesn't work that way. You get what you say, not what you want. Not what you wish for, not what you hope for. You get what you consistently declare over your life. So if you've been declaring struggle, you'll experience struggle. If you've been declaring breakthrough, you'll experience breakthrough. If you've been declaring nothing works for me, then nothing will work for you. If you've been declaring everything I touch prospers, then everything you touch will prosper. It's really that simple, and it's really that serious. For 3 days, I'm asking you to take this seriously. Not as a game, not as an experiment, but as a matter of life and death, because it is. Your words are either giving life or taking it. They're either building your future or destroying it. They're either attracting your destiny or repelling it. And the beautiful thing is, you don't need anyone's permission to change this. You don't need a degree. You don't need money. You don't need connections. You just need discipline. You just need intentionality. You just need to decide that you're done talking to yourself like you're a victim, and you're ready to talk to yourself like you're a victor, because that's what you are. You're not a victim. You're a victor. You've already won. You just need to start speaking like it. When you wake up tomorrow and you feel that weight on your chest, that anxiety, that fear, that doubt, I want you to open your mouth and say, I refuse to carry what I was never meant to carry. I release the weight. I receive peace. I am safe. I am guided. I am protected. I am provided for. When you look at that situation that has been tormenting you for months or years, I want you to speak to it like it has to obey you, because it does. Say, you will not define me. You will not defeat me. You will not destroy me. I am bigger than this moment. I am stronger than this struggle. I am coming out of this with a testimony, not a tragedy. When you think about your future and fear tries to whisper that you're going to fail, I want you to laugh in the face of that fear and say, I was not created to fail. I was created to fulfill. I was not born to fall. I was born to rise. I was not made to quit. I was made to finish. And say it with conviction. Say it with authority. Say it like you believe it, even if you're still trying to convince yourself. Because here's the secret. Faith doesn't wait until you feel it. Faith speaks until you see it. You don't wait until you're confident to speak confidently. You speak confidently until confidence comes. You don't wait until you're healed to speak healing. You speak healing until healing manifests. You don't wait until you're wealthy to speak abundance. You speak abundance until wealth flows. That's the order. Words first, evidence second. Declaration first, manifestation second. Faith first, sight second. And most people have it backwards. They're waiting to see it before they say it. But it doesn't work that way. You have to say it before you see it. You have to call it before it comes. You have to believe it before you hold it. This is the language of champions. This is the language of overcomers. This is the language of history makers. And it's available to you right now. Not tomorrow, not when you feel better, not when your situation changes. Right now, in the middle of the mess, in the middle of the storm, in the middle of the struggle, right now, you can change the trajectory of your entire life by changing the way you talk to yourself. So here's my challenge. For 3 days, no complaining. For 3 days, no negative self-talk. For 3 days, no agreement with defeat. For 3 days, you speak life. You speak hope. You speak faith. You speak victory over every single area of your life. And watch what happens. Watch how your mind shifts. Watch how your energy changes. Watch how opportunities start appearing. Watch how solutions start flowing. Watch how doors start opening. Not because life suddenly got easier, but because you finally started cooperating with the way life was designed to work. You are not here by accident. Your birth was intentional. Your existence is purposeful. Your life matters. And the moment you start talking to yourself like someone who was created on purpose and for a purpose, everything changes. Everything. So stop talking to yourself like you're a mistake. Stop talking to yourself like you're worthless. Stop talking to yourself like you're a failure. Stop talking to yourself like you're stuck. Stop talking to yourself like this is all there is. Because it's not. There's more. There's so much more. But you'll never access it if you keep speaking the language of limitation. Speak the language of possibility. Speak the language of faith. Speak the language of purpose. Speak the language of your design, not your disappointment. And do it for 3 days. Just 3 days. Not 3 months, not 3 years. Just 3 days of intentional, powerful, life-giving words over yourself. And I promise you, you will not be the same person on day 4 that you were on day 1. Because words create worlds. And the world you've been living in was created by the words you've been speaking. So if you want a different world, speak different words. It's time. It's time to rise. It's time to remember. It's time to take your place. It's time to walk in the fullness of who you were created to be. And it starts with what you say to yourself when nobody else is listening. Talk to yourself like this for 3 days and watch your life transform. You are not a victim. You are a victor. You are not a beggar. You are royalty. You are not ordinary. You are extraordinary. You are not a mistake. You are a masterpiece. You are not stuck. You are in transition. You are not finished. You are just beginning. Now say it. Say it out loud. Say it until you believe it. Say it until you see it. Say it until it becomes your reality. Because it will. Your words have that power. Use them wisely. Use them intentionally. Use them to build the life you were always meant to live.